Good morning, good afternoon, man, good evening, depending on where you are around the world. And listen, I just had to come in and do a stream on this topic. It's been a long time since we've seen a good old-fashioned battle, what is it, a royal battle or battle royale, whatever, right? Oh, y'all forgive the microwave. I'm heating up some barbecue. Got some ribs. I'm about to heat up some ribs and munch down. But before I sort of retire for the weekend or whatnot, don't even know when I'll be back up here, I figured I would come through on a little Johnny Depp and Amber Heard update and a review of some of the funniest moments at the trial. But listen to this very interesting article. Content creators. There's been like a whole new breed of influencers and content creators that have basically created like a Johnny Depp sector, like a Depp sector, so to speak, right? The Washington Post wrote an article today. In one second, y'all. Okay, back. All right, so listen to this, guys. The Washington Post created an article. All right, they published an article late last night, and the title: "Who Won the Depp Heard Trial? Content Creators That Went All In." And this is on their internet culture section of their website, right? But basically, the Washington Post seems to be acknowledging that there are now new internet influencers that have discovered that there's money and clout to be made in covering breaking news. So when the verdict came down in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial this past Wednesday, There were literally thousands of online influencers that scrambled to respond, Twitch streamers reacting to the news in real time, YouTubers posting analysis videos, Instagram meme accounts that are joking and celebrating Johnny Depp's win, and TikTokers that broke down some of the most meaningful moments from the decision. Videos and memes were just the latest in a tidal wave of content about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial that has dominated the internet for much of the past 2 months. The Johnny Depp trial, the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial, also offered a potential glimpse into the future of media, where content creators serve as the personalities that are breaking news to an increasing number of viewers, and in turn, define the online narrative around major events. These creators can also bring in major personal profit in the process. And in this new landscape, every big news event becomes an opportunity to amass followers, money, and clout. And the Depp Heard trial showed how the creator-driven news ecosystem can influence public opinion based on platform incentives. Nearly every large breaking news event in the past year has birthed a new crop of online influencers. As the Rona began its deadly spread across the country, people turned to large health-focused influencers to make sense of it, often falling for dangerous misinformation. That's what they say. When Russia invaded Ukraine, war pages proliferated, with their creators earning thousands by selling merchandise and posting OnlyFans ads. And as waves of anti-LGBTQ legislation flourished in recent months, popular LGBTQ streamers and TikTokers received major boosts in attention. So back in April, internet users around the world recognized that there was a fresh opportunity to seize and monetize on all of this attention, right? They had an example of one man named Christopher Orick, a 20-year-old content creator out of Los Angeles, who had posted a dozen videos about the trial to his more than 1.4 million followers on Instagram across several pages. And he said that personally, he has gained money as well as exposure from how well the videos do. You can use those views and likes and shares that you get from it to monetize and build your account and make more money from it, meet more people, and network. Another content creator named Alit Mazeka earned $5,000 in 1 week by pivoting the content on her YouTube channel to nonstop trial coverage and analysis on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. There's also another content creator named That Umbrella Guy, an anonymous YouTuber whose entire channel is dedicated to pro Johnny Depp content. This individual earned up to $80,000 last month. And that's according to one estimate by social analytics firm Social Blade, which I think that's overestimating. Okay. But there's been a lot of clout and money made in this new wave of content creators that are sort of jumping out of the bushes, right? This is something that I seen, coming years ago. It is what it is, right? I mean, I've been doing that type of content forever and a day, but it's interesting and it's really nice to see the Washington Post sort of plug into that. And of course, I don't think the article is 100% right on par, but I get it. And content creators can lean into internet culture. right? And again, there is a world out there. All I could say is I'm just really thankful for what I've been doing all these years, for who I am. I don't have anything to be ashamed about whatsoever. And I'm going to keep doing me. I'm going to keep doing Leak You. I know for a fact, me, and just as an example, Queen's Throne, right? Shout out to Queen's Throne. Shout out to Concealed Ringleader. Shout out to the Royal Reaction. And of course, the new True Crime channel. But this is something that even Queen's Throne, who has been reporting on this type of content for years. And I can't help but to think that, there's a lot of times when I will see myself in some other people sometimes. And, sometimes it's felt kind of weird, to be honest with you. But at the same time, I guess that is what influencing the influencers is all about. Because I've seen it all the way from content creators to celebrities. Okay. But it is what it is. The really cool thing about Leak You, internet clout is an ebb and flow. And I've been out here for a long time, for years upon years upon years. And there's been a lot of accomplishments that I've had from the Leak You platform, honestly. And I'm going to keep trucking, right? We're going to keep on trucking through, but here's the thing. Here's really the thing to be weary about to some of you other old school content creators like myself that's been around here doing this for a while. The competition's trying to close in. Queen, the competition, they're trying to close on in, girl. I think for people, older content creators or CCs that have been doing this type of vlogging for a really long time, we welcome it. One concern that I think I do have, though, is I really hope that people will take releasing information as important as they definitely need to take it, right? Because, again, being an influencer, especially in a space like that, got to make sure that the information you're giving out is correct. So, but regardless or not, I thought that was a very interesting article, but more so the fact that there is now a Depp sector. There's a slew of content creators that are making their name off this Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, and congratulations to them. So listen, Johnny Depp continues to celebrate his win in the UK after he had a pretty nice verdict, a $10.4 million verdict in which Amber Heard now owes Johnny Depp $8.3 million. 8.3, which is more than she got from the divorce settlement in the first place, which is quite interesting. But Johnny Depp continues to celebrate his win, like I said, in the UK, and don't know when he'll be back. I've seen him celebrating on stage. I have seen him, playing guitar, being cited at multiple pubs. And, what a insane last few months, though, too. And listen, we're gonna throw a few channels your way, and I think here we want to take a look at some of the greatest hits that actually happened in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Some of the greatest moments, the interesting moments that happened throughout the course of the trial. And I just think it's, let's revisit here. Of course, trial footage, this court footage, there is no copyright. This is considered footage in the public domain. But I will put a list of the content creators whose footage that I show here, in which they modified it and edited it. I'll put a link in the description for each of them. But you guys, let's just take a look at some of Johnny Depp's greatest moments in court recently with Amber Heard.
You heard Miss Heard say, "Get off me," right?
No, I did not. Hitting the wall hard based on the
We'll just take a look at the
accusations
next
that she
exhibit, Mr.
brought.
Depp.
I'm sorry, I was talking. Is that all right?
You would answer my question. We'll take a look at the next exhibit. Thank you.
yeah. As long as you're happy, sir.
You didn't want her acting. You wanted to control her career, correct?
Objection, compound.
That's
Hold
patently
on,
untrue, and it's a
Mr.
great
Depp,
guess.
sir. All right, yes, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Sorry.
We can, did I read that right?
Yes, Mr. Rottenborn.
You're complaining about her ambition in this text to her, to Dr. Kipper, correct?
I'm realizing that her ambition is far stronger than her supposed feelings for me, yes. It doesn't mean that I actually literally cut my finger off after, at the age of 12, finding the only thing that gave me peace, which is playing the guitar. Very unlikely. Why didn't I start lopping off digits when I was 13 then?
Just the way it was worded. Now, Miss Heard, what?
Objection, relevance.
What's the relevance?
When your nerves are
Wait,
pushed...
sir, if you
Can we approach, Your Honor?
Okay.
Pardon.
She was trying to get you to stop using drugs. But
She
let's
had
take a look at
used
what
the
you
same-
say in
She had
this
used
text.
that term before.
In this text, Mr. Depp, you say there were numerous negative news stories about you. You'd agree with that, correct?
Objection, compound.
All right, I'll sustain it to compound.
Thank you so much.
May 7th, 2016. It's entitled Johnny Depp. Friends and family seriously concerned about him. Here's why.
Yes,
Correct.
how did they know?
The next article from May 1st, 2017, before Ms. Heard filed says Johnny Depp reportedly drank heavily and was constantly late on the new Pirates movie set. Did I read that right?
You did, reportedly.
The next
These are
article,
all hit
also
pieces.
from May
These
10th,
are drags,
2017.
sir.
Mr.
This
Depp,
is a pathetic attempt.
Mr. Depp, please just respond to the question that I'm asking you.
What's your
The next
question, Mr.
question,
Rottenborn?
the next document
Yes.
is entitled Johnny Depp's financial woes might sink the next Pirates of the Caribbean. Did I read that right?
You did. I don't know
The
how
next
my
article,
financial woes would do
May
that.
25th, 2007. Johnny Depp's star power looks as wobbly as Jack Sparrow on a plank. Did I read that right?
You read that very, very well.
The next one, Hollywood Reporter, May 27th, 2000. Did I read that
Allegedly
correctly?
reports say, this is hearsay. is
June
it not?
21st, 2018,
favorite word.
6 months before the inside the trials of Johnny Depp. Did I read that right?
You did. You should read the article. It's
And the last one, June 22nd, 2018.
Johnny Depp clowning, right?
Alison Boshoff reveals why Hollywood's reeling over what's being called Johnny Depp's career note. Did I read that correctly?
You did. Who's Alison Boshoff and how does she know?
Mr. Depp, you can't name a single actress. No further questions.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't we go ahead and take our morning recess for 15 minutes? Do not.
Sean Bailey, who was the number 3.
Objection, hearsay.
I don't know yet. I'll overrule it at this point.
Thank you.
May I continue, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Just basically said in the...
Objection, hearsay.
Your
What
Honor,
Sean Bailey said.
this is about him
It's in
learning about this.
article.
It's not for the truth.
It is the truth. She's
If
asking.
you want to approach, that's part.
Mr. Depp, could you please explain to the jury who Sean Bailey is? I think you were starting to.
Yes, I'll try again. Sean Bailey was quoted as saying that...
Objection, hearsay.
Mr. Depp, where was Sean Bailey quoted, without getting into what he was quoted as saying?
I don't know who did the interview with him.
Objection, lack of foundation.
I'll overrule the objection. Go ahead.
Mr. Depp,
Had been approached to take part in writing
Objection,
Pirate
hearsay.
6.
last week, Mr. Rottenborn asked you about a quote where you said you wouldn't come back to the Pirates franchise for $300 million and a million alpacas. Do you remember that?
I do.
What? Do you recall when specifically you made that statement about the $300 million and the 100 alpacas?
Objection, asked and answered.
Or overruled, all right.
Mr. Depp, do you recognize this document?
As soon as my eyes go on, I hopefully will. Oh, there it goes. Oh, I'm so pathetic when it comes to knowing what movies I've done. I'm sorry. I just, I don't watch them. I feel better not watching them. I couldn't, what was the question again?
How many?
I have order in the court, or I will have you removed. Understood?
How would you describe Mr. Bettany's relationship with Miss Heard while you and Miss Heard were together?
Abominable.
Mr. Depp, I believe this is another text message with Mr. Bettany that you were shown on your cross-examination.
And when he came home from school...
Your Honor, I'm just going to object on relevance. The question was, who was this about?
We can move on.
Okay.
Mr. Depp, what if any portion of this email exchange is literally true?
We're all set to leave here at approximately 1:30 p.m. Hope you rested well. I believe there's also a napkin down there where
Objection,
someone...
Your Honor, lack of foundation. He's referring to exhibits that aren't in evidence.
All right,
I have no idea whether they even exist.
I'll sustain the objection now. Next question.
You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me he sustained an injury on one of his
Well,
fingers.
objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question.
Oh,
Next question.
okay. You said he sustained an injury to his finger.
One of his
Well,
fingers.
objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question.
Okay. You said he sustained an injury.
Pedal my way back. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Aquaman! It's just, why do you deviate from our agreement? It's not about her doing films. How do you think she got Aquaman, sir?
You heard Miss Heard say, "Get off me," right?
No, I did not.
This wasn't the first time that you talked about Amber hitting the wall hard. Let's pull up Exhibit 213, please.
Hitting the wall hard based on the
We'll just take a look at the
accusations
next
that she
exhibit, Mr.
brought.
Depp.
I'm sorry, I was talking. Is that all right?
You had answered my question. We'll take a look at the next
Oh,
exhibit.
as long as you're happy, sir.
I felt this pressure. He thought he was punching me.
Sean Bailey, who was the number 3.
Objection, hearsay.
I don't know yet. I'll overrule it at this point.
May I continue, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Just basically said in the...
Objection, hearsay.
Your
What
Honor,
Sean Bailey said.
this is about him
It's in
learning
the
about this. It's
article.
not for the.
saying that...
Objection, hearsay.
Last week, Mr. Rottenborn asked you about a quote where you said you wouldn't come back to the Pirates franchise for $300 million and a million alpacas. Do you remember that?
I do.
What? When relative to?
That's correct. That we don't have cameras in the video. Sorry, we don't have cameras at the hallway. We don't have cameras on the hallway.
She brought up the situation of her fecal matter on the bed, and and she tried to blame it on the dogs. That's what.
Hey, Third Eye, good to see you. I just wanted to say hi.
What the opiate does. The dopamine and serotonin, as you know, I imagine, are things that keep us it gives us our moods. It gives us.
I appreciate that, but my question wasn't that. My question was,
I'm just trying
right
to
after
school
you told the
you.
line. So it was May 20.
You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me he'd sustained an injury on one of his fingers.
Objection, hearsay.
What time that you did move in with him?
Objection leading. I'm going to object on hearsay.
My co-star.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay. Objection, hearsay.
It was fine.
Objection,
that it was
hearsay.
public
Objection, hearsay.
You said.
Objection, hearsay. Objection leading.
Or on the street. You
Objection,
move it.
hearsay. That calls for hearsay, Your Honor.
Assuming the plan was to. do the
Objection,
full
Your Honor.
detox.
Hearsay. Objection, form, compound.
Did you have any discussions with Ms. Heard on the way to Coachella that evening?
We had a conversation pertaining to the surprise she left in the boss's bed.
And when you refer to the surprise in the boss's bed, what are you referring to?
The defecation.
A few things about Coachella, and then the fecal delivery, saying that it was the dogs. And I'm sorry, I could not agree with her. It was not the dogs.
But in fact, you don't recall seeing Amber Heard on May 24th, correct?
I don't remember. I don't even remember what I got for breakfast.
Okay.
Insider from 2015 that says Johnny Depp has his 5th box office bomb in a row.
If that's what it said, it said. Are you just going to keep reading this?
Well, I mean, and you
Who's
would
that
agree
written by?
that before the op-ed there was negative publicity for Mr. Depp about assassinating President Trump. Would you agree?
No, I missed that one. I don't particularly remember that. I have a lot of stuff in front of me.
Did it mention Mr. Depp? That's what I asked you.
Well, does she have another husband who abused her
But
in
did it talk about it?
2016?
Did it talk?
Mr. Drew, who was a chef, which I don't believe is hearsay.
But I've just never seen that. Yeah, that did it.
Why are you here?
I am here because my ex-husband
Woman.
is suing me for an op-ed I wrote.
And how do you feel about that?
I struggle to have the words. I struggle to find the words to describe how painful this is. This is horrible for me to sit here for weeks.
Do you remember the first time that he physically hit you?
Yes.
Please tell the jury about it.
It was it's seemingly so stupid, so insignificant. Continued to drink and then eventually started howling like an animal.
Just, I mean, there's part of it that the noise of the airport.
Passed out in a chair during daylight hours.
Again, isn't passed out, that's a very specific term. Sleep could be one.
You're complaining about her ambition in this text to her, to Dr. Kipper, correct?
I'm realizing that her ambition is far stronger than her supposed feelings for me, yes.
And you tell Dr. Kipper, I cut the top of my middle finger off in this text, correct?
It's just the way it was worded. It doesn't mean that I actually literally cut my finger off after, at the age of 12, finding the only thing that gave me peace, which is playing the guitar. Very unlikely. Why didn't I start lopping off digits when I was 13 then?
Just the way it was worded. Now, Ms. Heard,
Did you provide a copy of this pamphlet to Amber Heard?
I did not. I did not identify her as a victim of domestic violence.
Is that the sole reason why you did not give that to Amber Heard?
Yes, we want to give them to victims of domestic violence.
I'm going to ask you to take a
At this point, Your Honor, Ms. Heard's counsel is asking to move into evidence and publish to the jury.
about 9 years. Isn't it true that while he was on the mezzanine level and Miss Heard and her sister were there, that he was reaching for Amber's hair while he was trying to hit her with that cast, correct?
That is not correct.
And it's possible that she was standing in between Mr. Depp and Miss Heard then, correct?
No.
Well, in fact, you saw Mr. Depp push or shove Whitney Heard, correct?
Absolutely not.
And it was only after Mr. Depp pushed Whitney that Amber stepped forward and punched him in the face. Isn't that right?
That is not correct.
Really, I didn't understand why they want me to do that. Like, oh, I don't know.
Do you have a drinking problem, Johnny?
Objection. Calls for hearsay.
Sure, he's saying what the doctors told him.
I think that's what's about to be testified to.
Let me ask you a different question, Mr. Depp.
Yes. Let's let him object to another one. Ms. Heard could very easily drink 2 bottles of wine per night, not a speed, if you will. Cold, I don't know if I can say the name. Am I allowed to say the name?
At the beginning of her opening, Ms. Heard's counsel mentioned that the first time you supposedly struck Ms. Heard was in response to a comment about one of your tattoos.
Yes, I remember.
And what is your response to that?
It didn't happen. I've never struck Miss Heard. As I said yesterday, I've never struck Miss Heard. I've never struck a woman in my life.
Would you agree that if you did not find something that would be in favor of Mr. Depp and negative to Ms. Heard, that you wouldn't be an expert in this case? Essentially, bring you into court if you're going to say that Ms. Heard is right and Mr. Depp is wrong, correct?
So as a forensic psychologist, my obligation is to the court, is to the fact finder. I present science regardless of what that science may be. Now, when I take a case, my retainer agreement is explicit about that, and I discuss that with the attorneys.
I'm asking you a question. I'd like you to try to answer
Okay.
my question. You understand that if you found favorably to Ms. Heard and negatively to Mr. Depp, you wouldn't be here, right? You wouldn't be testifying.
No, okay, sorry, hold on.
That's not speculation.
No, I'll sustain the objection if you want to ask.
Okay. It goes to bias, Your Honor. Let's talk about makeup for a moment. So you don't know what type of makeup regimen Amber uses every day, correct? Correct. Okay. And in fact, you don't, and would you agree that there are a number of different types of makeup you can use that would still give you a natural look? There's sun in the Bahamas, right?
Most of the time.
Do you number wears for sunscreen?
No, I wouldn't have asked if somebody has skin condition.
Like get on set, get with James Franco? Did you hear that?
I don't recall.
Did you hear him say at least you liked it?
No.
Did you hear him say I bet you slipped a tongue in there and you liked it?
No.
Did you hear him say make references to Amber's and asking her if her was wet?
Your Honor, lack of foundation,
No.
harassment.
Did you hear any of that?
No, not that I
I'll
Okay,
rule the objection. It's fine.
thanks. And they feel paranoid,
Yes.
and they feel frightened,
Yes.
afraid that everyone's going to believe the perpetrator, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, they're afraid they're going to lose their security.
There was another article in 2015 that says, quote, has Johnny Depp become Hollywood's biggest joke?
I don't know, Netflix has a whole festival going now. Netflix is a joke.
And you'd agree that there is an article in
Wait, should we do
You
one
dipped your
more?
finger in paint.
Let's do one
after
more,
suffering
y'all.
an injury.
Hold on.
Yes. Those pirates. Bless you.
Paul Bettany, correct?
Again.
Okay. So the boss, let's pull up Exhibit 500, please.
500?
500, Defense Exhibit 500.
I'd like to see who I lied to.
All right, so we're going to go with Plano's 3, trying to keep the record clear, 380A and 234. Okay, go ahead.
Legally recorded tape.
This is at your house in West Hollywood on Sweetser Avenue, correct?
That's correct, sir.
And that's you in the video, Mr. Depp, right?
That's correct, sir.
Did I read that right?
You did.
Can you just read for the jury that first text?
You'd like me to read that?
Yes, please.
Sure, Mr. Rottenborn. Is the slippery whore that I donated my jizz to for a while staying there?
And can you please, we'll get it to you. How about that?
Oh, joy. Okay. All right.
Can't say that you carried cocaine in that box?
No, but it looks like it would fit some cocaine. I once gave Marilyn Manson a pill so that he would stop talking so much.
Did I read
Oh
that
my
right?
God.
You did.
Did I read that correctly?
You did.
Okay. Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
Did I read that right?
You continue to read them right, yes.
And you don't know if it's actually human beings doing these searches, correct?
As opposed to,
As opposed to bots or something like that.
I did not do an analysis to.
But you don't know if it's humans, bots, my cat doing the searches, correct?
Object.
Was Mr. Depp to play in Pirate 6?
Objection calls for speculation
I'll allow it.
and hearsay.
I'll allow it.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Your future is on display. Best of luck.
Best if luck.
Thank you for the correction. Best if luck.
You're welcome.
And thank
If she went home to go change or something like that, I got no clue.
Do you remember what color the t-shirt was?
I think it might have been white, best of my recollection.
Do you remember what jewelry Amber had on? Okay, let's go to the next day, the Wednesday, and you've got all these people here.
Next day is Tuesday.
Okay.
Not a raincoat, but it could be similar to that.
Okay, and what was she wearing under it?
I have no clue.
Okay. And do you remember what jewelry she was wearing?
No.
Now, you said that on the 22nd that you kissed her on the cheek.
What day?
The 22nd, your birthday?
22nd, Sunday, yes.
Okay, so when you showed it the first time, you went like this, right? And then the next time when you said you did the kisses, you went like this. What's your typical way of kissing women when you greet them or say goodbye?
I'm not understanding any of what you just did.
Okay. Well, I take it that you would regularly kiss Amber on the cheek when you used to say hello and to say
Oh,
goodbye?
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
And tell us how you did that.
Objection.
Could you just show us how you did that?
Which time regularly?
Did you have, so it's a pretty soft, it's kind of like almost a superficial one, or is it a really hard one on the cheek?
No.
Did you ever do a two kiss when you greeted Amber? Two cheeks?
No, I'm not European. I'm from Brooklyn.
And again, do you know whether she was wearing any Amica cream?
Sir, if you could just answer
I'm
the
sorry.
question.
I'm totally sorry. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you, sir.